the new IT rules in the country. Now, the date is for these to be starting to be implemented, the deadline by which various IT companies, whether they were OTT platforms or they were digital media or they were social media intermediaries like Facebook or Twitter, they had to comply with a series of instructions which the government had laid down in February. The arguments from one side are that the government needs to ensure the safety of people on these various platforms. They want to know people who actually post certain messages, who exactly they are, and therefore that's something which concerns, for example, WhatsApp. But then there's the other part of it where social media intermediaries such as Facebook and Twitter need to comply very, very soon if there are requests for a takedown of certain posts, and they are liable for what is actually hosted on their sites. Joining us now, a very special guest, Aprameya Radhakrishnan, the co-founder and CEO of Coup. Coup many see to be the Indian Twitter. Good to speak to you, Aprameya. It's a big day for you. You have a smile on your face, but are you a bit apprehensive? Because let's face it, complying with these will be difficult. It's not that easy for you, is it?
Well, when we went through the guidelines, when they were passed, we found that, it is necessary to keep the users happy and reassure them of the safety for using internet and social media, right? Like, you allow everybody to, come onto the road and drive their cars and ride their bikes. And there will always be rules that you will have to follow, right? And there will be people who break those laws and they will be fined. And, so on social media so far, that kind of safety wasn't there. And, I think that's all of the points that were there in the guidelines were very user-centric.
Right.
And, that's why we thought, it's a good way to, put all the social media platforms on a level playing field.
Right.
So that users feel comfortable.
So, Aprameya, isn't that really what the problem is? That within 36 hours, as per the new rules, you would need to enforce a takedown. Is there any time left for someone to appeal this? For example, if somebody posts something on Coup, the government finds it objectionable and complains to you, you are duty bound to take it down in 36 hours. Is that fair? Go ahead. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. No, so I was, go ahead.
In response to that, I heard most of the question. So we are a India registered company where Indian citizens, all companies, whether it's media or otherwise, have to, comply with the law of the land. So we will comply with the law of the land. And if the person has, has a problem with the kind of decision that has been taken by any authority, there are already places that they can go and get a redressal for that separately, right? So it's not that Coup is taking a judgment. It is the law of the land. It is the the actual government body
right.
which is taking the call on taking down a piece of content or whatever it is. So
but
Coup is a platform,
right?
And it will abide by the laws of the land because we are registered in India.
Right, absolutely, and you don't have a choice in that matter. But the point is that and the basis of this, the basis of the argument is that the freedom of expression, the freedom of free speech could in fact be stifled if the government were to decide, right, that the sovereignty of India is being threatened by certain posts. And then in the recent past, when the farmer protests were going on, they felt that Greta Thunberg and others were compromising or affecting the potential sovereignty of India, and you are told to take that down. Many would say that that's a bit extreme, right? So are you not therefore in a place where you have to act upon pretty severe orders?
Yeah, so as a platform, we are not the judge. We are not the court. We are not the elected representative. We are not the right body to take a judgment on whether to keep that or not.
Okay.
Right? We are a technology company which is enabling a stage, giving a mic. Right? What is being told? The country already, like if you book a hall and you have an audience and you're speaking something. So we are the hall, we are the mic. Right? What is being said if somebody gets offended in an offline setup, they will go and complain to somebody, right? So it's the same way, like online, people behaving online without a mask, the unmasked folks getting a lot more weightage for what they say. That I think is very important, so that social media becomes a safe place.
Isn't there a
So
mismatch though, Aprameya? The government comes to you and says, take this down, this is deemed to be illegal for whatever the reason may be. But then if a private citizen is constantly abused on coup, any which way, as we know that happens all the time, they can appeal to you and somehow you are not obliged to take that down in 36 hours or 72 hours or whatever it may be. So isn't that a bit of a mismatch? The common citizen, I think, and his or her power versus the power of the government.
No, I think building a healthy ecosystem in India for social media use has three pillars, right? There is the government, there is the user, and there is the platform. I think it has to be a constant dialogue between all three parties and make sure that we are moving towards what is a safe ecosystem for the user. The user triumphs all the time, right? So I think that's where we are moving towards. I think there should be a constant dialogue, but right now, to make sure that it is safe, the less than 1% who actually create a lot of they have to have a way to be reprimanded in some way, right? Otherwise, you have people loitering around doing whatever they want.
Yeah.
And that I think is good for all of us who are trying to be good on the internet.
Yeah. One or two other questions. Firstly, the use of artificial intelligence or automated tools to ensure that some of the worst content goes away. Child sexual abuse material, stuff depicting rape. This is absolutely essential. It just has to go away instantly.
Yes.
Nobody should.
Yes.
It's illegal by any standard of humanity.
Absolutely.
But while that is so very important, isn't the worry which has been stated is that this could, the function itself could creep into being used to take down other content which shouldn't be taken down. How would you respond to that?
Not at all. Again, we even in the content that is iffy, right? Most of it is in black and white, right? You can take easy decisions. You can make machines learn to take those easy decisions, right? In certain cases which are gray, we also are constituting an advisory board, which will include eminent people who will help us navigate the gray, even if we don't get any request from anybody else to take it down, right? And there is an elected representative who is also looking at what is happening and what is not happening.
Right.
Right. I think we're moving in the right direction so that we as India come together to make social media, the country of social media, a safer place to be, a safer place to use. And, we'll be in constant dialogue to make sure that the user triumphs all the time, as I said before.
Yeah. One final question to you. You aren't worried about a scenario where you're inundated by requests from the government to pull down content?
No, it's not happened so far. We're a small company. And as I said, constant dialogue will always help. We are always for the user. We're for freedom of speech. But at the same time, we want to make sure that the offenders don't spoil the experience for the 99% and more good users.
All right. Aprameya Radhakrishnan, co-founder and CEO of Coup, great speaking to you. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.